Welcome to Layers of Living Water. I am so happy and honored that you have joined me today. Today you may be looking for success, and today I'm going to give you the answer of how to find success. So enjoy this story as we talk today about just what is needed to find success in your life, in your business, in any area. The story today comes from Tibet, a land far, far away. But yet there are some significant truths that we can learn from there. There was a young man living in this land. He was growing up to the point to where he wanted to decide what he was going to do. And number one, he decided that he wanted to be successful in life. He'd seen other people be successful. He was studying the men in the area and learning and watching and trying to put his plan together of how he would be successful. So as he was looking and watching, he came up with the idea. He said, I think I'm going to go talk to the wise man. He said, many people go and talk to the wise man and get great answers, and it helps them significantly in life. So he talked to his parents and he told them, I want to go see the wise man and see if I can get some direction on how I can succeed. And they were excited that he was thinking about it and said, well, sure, go and find out. You might learn something we didn't even know. So the young man went to the town where the wise man was, sat, people were talking to him, and waited his turn. And his turn came and he stood before the wise man and he said, Sir, I would really like you to tell me the secret to success in life. The wise man looked at the young man and he said, well, the fact that you would ask that question is a good beginning. He said, I will tell you the secret to success. He said, meet me tomorrow morning early by the river and I will answer your question. Well, the young man was so excited, you can just imagine. He was going to find out the secret to success. He was going to have the answer of what it would take to be successful in whatever he decided to do. That night, the young man had trouble sleeping. He was so wanting the time to come. He was so wanting the time to come when he could get the answer. The night went by, the morning came, it was still dark. He jumped up, had his breakfast, and he was out the door and on the way because he knew today he would get the answer to the secret to success. He came to the river and there sat the wise man waiting for him. The young man said, I'm so happy. Today I'm going to learn the secret to success. And the wise man said, yes, my son, you surely shall. He said, well, can you tell me now? He said, no, I'm going to show you. The young man thought for a minute, well, how can you show me the secret to success standing out here with just you and I? The wise man said, take your shoes off. We're going to get into the river. The young man was like, well, what does getting in the river have to do with succeeding? But the wise man said, come on, son. The boy took his shoes off and took his hand and off into the river they went. They got out to about, it was knee deep. The wise man stopped and he said, okay. He said, look around you. Have you learned anything yet? Can you answer any questions for me? The young man said, well, we're standing in the water, but I came to you to find out the secret to success. The wise man just smiled and said, you will learn. They went out a little bit further into the lake, and this time they were up to chest deep water. Once again, the wise man stopped and said, have you learned any answers yet? And the young man looked around and said, well, I'm not sure if I learned the secret to success yet, but we're out pretty deep into the river. The wise man once again just smiled and said, come on, son. This time they went out deep enough to where the boy could not even stand up. He was bobbing up and down on the bottom. And like in his mind, he was saying, how can I learn the secret to success out here in the middle of the river, bobbing up and down? All of a sudden, the wise man grabbed the boy's head and pushed him underneath the water. Well, you can imagine the boy began to fight and try to get out, and arms were flailing. He was doing anything and everything he could to get up and get some air. He grabbed the wise man's hand. He was pushing on the wise man. The wise man just continued to hold his head down. The boy pushed and was doing everything he thought possible. In the midst of all that, a fish came swimming by and swam right in between his legs, rubbing up against his leg. The boy got even more excited. He didn't know what it was under the water. He didn't know if it was something was going to bite him or what was going on. So he flailed even harder, trying to get up and get some air. Just at the point where the boy thought, I can't make it anymore, the wise man pulled him up, did not say a word, took him back to where he could stand up. He looked deep into the young man's face and he said, what did you desire more than anything when you were underneath the water? The boy looked at the wise man and said, well, I needed air. I wanted air. I was doing everything possible to get some air. You wouldn't let me up. I just needed some air. The wise man said, young man, you have now learned the secret to success. If you desire more than anything, just as you did when you were underneath the water, you desired more than anything to come up and get some air. For to succeed in life, you must desire more than anything. You must set your focus, and you must go after that focus that you have set. And when you do this, you will succeed. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you want to be. This will work with anything. Just always remember, if you want to succeed, remember what you were seeking for when you were underneath the water. Remember that you wanted air more than anything else. You would not allow anything or anybody, you would not allow the circumstances to hold you back. You wanted to get that air. If you will go after your dreams, your goals with that type of fervor, you will succeed. The boy began to think for a minute and he said, wow, that's quite a lesson. I will remember this. The wise man looked at the son. He said, you had two options. He said, you could have just stopped fighting to get air. He said, that was a fish that rubbed against your leg. That fish was not unhappy being underneath the water. That fish will never come out of the water. You could have laid down like the fish. Now, of course, you would have died because you couldn't breathe underneath the water. But you did not. You kept pushing. You kept flailing. You kept reaching out to try to get that air. My friend, today, no matter where you are, all you need to do to succeed is to set a plan, set a goal. And once you have that goal, you go after that goal with everything that you have within you. You do not let the circumstances round about you distract you. You do not let other people or other things distract you. You stay focused on that goal and you go after it with everything you have. Just as the boy was trying to come up and get some air, he was doing all that he could. And in the end, he did come up and get some air, and you will as well. You will succeed if you fervently go after that goal, if you fervently seek and don't stop. Don't allow people to stop you. Don't allow people to tell you you can't do it. I imagine if the fish could talk, the fish would have said to the boy, hey, just lay down in the water. You'll be fine. I've been here a long time. I'm very happy underneath the water. You may have friends telling you how you'll never do that. You cannot succeed. Just be happy with where you are and who you are and what you've done. And if you choose to do that, that's what you'll do. You'll stay there just as the fish did underneath the water. My friend, you don't have to do that. You know, it's very simple. How you build your base, how you plan, how you set things up determines how you will succeed. If you don't care about it, if you set a goal and then don't do anything about it, guess what? You probably will fail. But if you go after that goal, if you go after that dream, if you go after that desire with everything there is within you, you will succeed and you will accomplish that goal. This is how you succeed. The answer is simple. Sounds simple, but too many people stop. Too many people start off very excited, very focused, doing everything they can to achieve their goal. But then they let life draw them down. They let life distract them and turn them away from their goal and their desire. Don't do that, my friend. If you find yourself today sitting in a place where you like, I should be doing better, I could be doing better, then make your plan and go after it with everything you have. Don't listen to those that say no. Don't let people pull you down. Don't let the circumstances you're in stop you from going after that success that you so desire. And if you do that, I can assure you, you shall succeed.